Hi, I'm Colin, and this is Sci-Fi Deep Dive. So, continuing our trend of talking about important battles during the Clone Wars, today we're going to touch on one of the more important battles that took place kind of right around the middle of the war. And that is the Battle of Kamino. Now, it should be pretty obvious why Kamino would be a high priority target for the separatists and a high value asset for the Republic, but I'll go over that just in case. Kamino is the center of the Republic cloning efforts, so all the new clones coming into the clone army, all the clones that are being developed, all come from Kamino. Now, the Separatists were hoping for the element of surprise, attempting to neutralize tracking stations as their fleet approached Kamino. However, that didn't quite go according to plan. A squadron of clones guarding the listening station on the Rishi moon detected the approaching Separatist fleet and destroyed the station, thus preventing the all-clear signal from being sent. When that station was destroyed and the all-clear signal was interrupted, it really threw a wrench into the Separatist plans. But eventually they did manage to carry out their assault. Now, the way the Separatists carried out this attack is kind of brilliant. So the Republic had a really large orbital presence. They had a lot of ships in orbit, which is once again understandable seeing how important the installations on Kamino were to the Republic war effort. The Separatists knew they wouldn't be able to breach that blockade with a conventional assault, so they planned something a little out of the ordinary. They threw a bunch of ships at the blockade, and as they were destroyed, the fragments of the ships that fell back to the planet carried the invasion force into the waters of Kamino. Once they were in the water, they assembled strike craft and began preparing to assault the cloning facilities there. So, as the Republic believed they were repelling the Separatist assault by stopping the fleet in orbit, in reality, the threat was building beneath them in the water. The first wave of the assault began when Separatist Trident-class assault ships, the big squid-shaped transports, crawled out of the water and began sort of latching on to the structures of the cloning facilities. This immediately put Republic forces guarding those facilities on high alert. The fighting quickly developed into sort of hallway-to-hallway close-quarters battles between waves of super battle droids and aqua droids being deployed by the Trident-class transports, and the clones left defending the planet. Meanwhile, the Republic fleet continued to be engaged with the Separatist fleet in orbit, sort of tying up any support from those capital ships. Now, this battle is particularly important and significant to the clone troopers that were fighting there, because many of them saw Kamino as their home. Many of the clones in general saw Kamino as their home. So, being able to sort of defend the line at their home planet was far more meaningful than almost any battle anywhere else in the war. And we see that during the battle. The clones defend fiercely and loyally because that's their home. They're not just defending the Republic, they're defending where they were born. But they weren't only protecting the planet and the asset that is the cloning facility, they were protecting the clones that weren't ready to fight yet. The facility also served as the primary training facility for the clone troopers, so it was full of cadets who weren't really ready for combat yet. So as a result, the clones weren't just fighting for their home or the Republic, but their brothers. As such, we see a lot of acts of raw heroism during the battle. We see cadets who aren't really ready for combat be given rifles and choose to defend their barracks and take a stand against the Separatists. We see clone troopers who were sort of removed from the regular rank and file for having deformities or imperfections, if you will, joining the fight and defending the only home they've ever known. One particularly poignant story of this is the story of 99, a clone trooper who had some rather major deformities and still served alongside his brothers during the Battle of Kamino. During the battle, he was killed attempting to fetch more grenades. His sacrifice would serve as an inspiration to clone troopers for the duration of the war, and he would be referenced on several other occasions. But eventually, the Separatist force was repelled. The cities of Kamino remained, although there was significant damage from the Separatist assault. So, while the Battle of Kamino may not have been the biggest or most pivotal battle of the war, it definitely held a certain importance to the soldiers who fought in the battle, as well as holding a significance to clone troopers all across the galaxy who considered Kamino their home. The acts of heroism and bravery displayed during the fighting would, as I mentioned, be referenced and talked about for the duration of the war and would almost become legends among clone troopers. So if you enjoyed what you saw here today, or you just want more sci-fi discussions, head down below, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you get notified when I upload new videos. Also, don't forget to leave a like and a comment. Tell me what you thought of the Clone Wars arc on the Battle of Kamino. Was it too short? I believe it's only one episode. Would you like to have seen the battle sort of stretched out more and get to see more of it, or do you think we saw an appropriate amount? So for Sci-Fi Deep Dive, I'm Colin, and I will see you next time.